Okay, now let's talk about a little bit more about conditional probabilities. So it says here, in addition to its use in finding the probability of two or more dependent events, conditional probability can be used when additional information is known about an event. So let's say that you rolled a die and it is known that the number that you rolled is an odd number. What is the probability that the number rolled is of 5? Well, there are only 3 odd numbers that can be rolled. So our sample space is reduced, and that's the key point here. Our sample space is reduced here. Instead of having a sample space of 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, now they're only asking us about the odd numbers. How many odd numbers are there between 1 through 6? Well, there's 3. And how many 5s are there? 1. So then our probability is going to be 1 over 3 instead of 1 over 6 instead of that. Okay, so that's very, very important that you know and understand what they're referring to. What is the sample space? Is the sample space reduced? Now, it is important to know how to read these symbols. So here it says P5, there's that symbol, and then the word odd. This is read, what is the probability that the number rolled is a 5, given that the number rolled is odd? Given is what that line means, okay? So since conditional probability reduces the sample space, this Venn diagram can be simplified as shown, with the intersection of the two events representing those outcomes in A and B. So then we have this formula, which is what we just used. What is the probability of A given the probability of A and B over the probability of A? Okay? All right, so let's do an example on this. So Ms. Fuentes' class is holding a debate. The 8 students participating randomly draw cards numbered with consecutive integers from 1 to 8. Students who draw odd numbers will be on the proposition team. Students who draw even numbers will be on the opposition team. If Jonathan is on the opposition team, okay, if he's in the opposition team, that means this team, what is the probability that he drew the number 2? Well, let's first, let's write the sample space. Well, it says it's from 1 through 8, right? So that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That's the original sample space, right? But Jonathan is on the opposition team, and the opposition team is the group with the even numbers. So that means our sample space is reduced. So we need to reduce this sample space. How many even numbers do we have here? We've got 2, 4, 6, and 8. So there's 4. So now our sample space is going to be 2, 4, 6, and 8. So since he's in that group, okay, it's basically read, what is the probability that he drew the number 2 given that he's in the opposition team? So that reduces the sample space. And so now the total number at the bottom would be 4, right? Because we've got 4 different kinds. But out of the 4, how many is the number 2? Well, just 1. So the probability of this happening would be 1 out of 4 chances, or about 25% chance. All right.